You want to take something over and hold on to it after you did? Let's talk about Niccolo Machiavelli and lessons from The Prince. Niccolo Machiavelli was a political scientist, philosopher, late 1400s, early 1500s, living in Florence, Italy. He was considered a new man. Why is this? He was one of the first writers to actually write about the way men are as opposed to how they ought to be, without the moralizing. How do men actually act? He looked at many different aspects of how to rule. One of the areas he looked at was how to conquer and hold onto a territory. This can be applicable also in business or in society right now. If you need to infiltrate a group, if you need to conquer an area, whatever that is, whether it's a board of directors or a new company or whatever, these lessons will apply. Machiavelli uses two big examples. He uses a principality, in which he uses as an example the Persian Empire, and he also uses feudalism of the day, especially in France. Let's break this down. So what we've got is in The Prince, Machiavelli uses many examples. He uses a lot of examples from ancient times as well as in his day what was contemporary. Okay, one of the examples he uses for centralized power is Persia. Alexander the Great invades Persia. And Machiavelli makes the argument that because Persia is a centralized government, there's one king. Everyone supports that king. There's no question. Everyone owns all of their loyalty 100% to the king. In the Persian Empire, it's very difficult to conquer that empire. It's very difficult because everyone is so centralized. But when you do conquer that empire, it's easy to hold. Hold on to this here. So what you've got is the Persian Empire, difficult to conquer, easy to hold. It's difficult to conquer because of the centralized leadership. Everyone is absolutely centralized around the king, but when that king is taken out, you can hold on to that easily. The example he uses against that, so that's the Persian Empire. He uses in his own day feudal France. Feudalism, you're familiar with this. You've got your king and you've got your dukes and you have your earls and all kind of nobility all over the place. Now, unlike the Persian Empire, where everyone owes everything to the Persian emperor, in a feudal society like in France, sure, you have your king, but the dukes and the earls, everyone else is royalty too, and they all, in a way, feel like they really should be king. So there's all kind of jealousies. Now, in a feudalistic society, if you want to take over, what you do is they have very decentralized government. So if you want to infiltrate, what you do is you go to that kingdom, you see the king, and you find some dukes who are unhappy and some earls who are unhappy or whatever. You get all those people around him who are jealous to come to your side. It is then easy to conquer. A feudal society or decentralized government is easy to conquer. But hold on to this now. It's difficult to maintain your power. This is why. Because now you're the king in feudal France or wherever else. And remember, you're surrounded now by nobles. Everyone who's put you in power because they thought they were going to benefit from it. But now all of a sudden you're the king, they're the nobles, and you're looking over your back the whole time hoping you don't get a dagger between your shoulder blades. It is very easy to hold on to a feudal government. To take a feudal government. It's very difficult to hold. Conversely, it's very difficult to conquer a principality like the Persians, but it's very easy to hold. Why is this important? Is there a board of directors you need to get into? Is there a company you're trying to infiltrate? Is there a certain group that you need to get into that you want to take over to guide them your way? If it is centralized, like the Persian situation, it's going to be very difficult to infiltrate. There is a leader. You need to get in there. You need to become the leader. But once you do, it's a centralized leadership. Once you become that leader, generally, it's going to be more easy to hold. The other situation, if there is a board of directors or something, you want to get in that leadership position, and there's decentralized, you can ally yourself with some of the decentralized people. Use that as a situation to disrupt the overall central authority, and then you can become the leader. The challenge there, of course, is now those different parties in which you utilize to ascend will be treacherous behind your back because it's decentralized. So, the merits, as Machiavelli puts it, centralized government, very powerful government that has centralized power, very difficult to conquer, but once you do, easy to maintain your power. Decentralized, uses like the feudalistic society, easy to conquer, very difficult to hold. Lessons from Niccolo Machiavelli on how to take a territory or a position and hold it.